Hello good people, welcome back to my channel. So today, oh my gosh, this is not, my setup. Let me figure this out. I just kind of wanted to do this vid real quick and I didn't really do a setup, so I'm smacking this tree for what reason? God only knows. Okay, let's see what's better. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know what the setup is. Ignore it. We're just gonna roll with the punches. So welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to kind of get on here and spill the tea, you know. So I didn't really ever do an update on this, or maybe I did, I don't really remember, but the point is I have had another change in my life, which is that I moved out of my Flatbush apartment and I moved in officially with Tom. And we reunited, whatever, and we started hanging out again very naturally. Then we end up just starting to naturally kind of living together for the past few months, and then we officially got back together in that time span, and then we decided to officially move back in together into our own apartment. So right now I'm currently living in his apartment, but I got rid of my apartment and now we will be living together in our own one-bedroom apartment. So just to clarify, if you guys have been keeping up or if you have not been keeping up, there where we're currently living is where he's been living for the last year and a half or something, I don't know. And I recently did a tour on this apartment, but that is just where we have been living and not where we will be living on March 1st. So if that makes sense. Anyway, I really just wanted to address all of the kind of confusion and details around the situation, because in general I was going to make this video just regardless, but recently when I posted my last video when I actually was moving out, I got a lot of comments and questions about essentially why we're moving in together, why I got rid of my apartment. Am I a stupid bitch? Basically. And I kind of want to get on here and clear some things up and just kind of tell you guys what I feel about the situation and what's going on. So yeah, Tom and I are officially back together. I don't think I've ever said that in any of these videos recently. I kind of thought it was obvious. It just kind of, I don't know. For me, it just felt obvious and natural. So I never really felt like myself to make an announcement about this. But apparently a lot of people didn't really get that. So yes, we're officially back together. To give you guys some history on the situation, essentially Tom and I have been, we've known each other since 2011. First weekend of freshman year of college, we met and became best friends instantly. Then we started officially dating I think it's March of 2011. No, 12 technically. Whatever, that freshman year we started officially dating in March. And then we've been dating ever since, basically. We broke up I want to say, I honestly don't know how many times, maybe twice. But obviously as you can imagine, young love, going through an entire college experience together and being in a relationship, and we were each other's first real relationship. That comes with a lot of different kind of aspects that you can't really quite understand if you have not been in that situation. So now it's been around 7 or 8 years. No, it has to be 7 years that we've just been in each other's lives, literally spending every single day of our lives together, essentially. So there's a lot of history there. So I can do a whole video on our whole love story or whatever at some point, if people want that. But comment down in the comment section below if you do want that. But essentially, we have years and years of history. I met him when I was 17 years old and he was 18 years old, obviously. Not obviously, but just very young. 17 is a very young age to meet somebody and kind of spend your life with somebody, I would say. And so if you guys have, or if you guys haven't been following along on this YouTube journey, I've been documenting pretty much everything. And so we moved in together to New York City in July, no, I'm so bad with dates, June of 2017. I want to say, let me check. June of 2017. And here's the, oh wait, you can't see it. Here's the photo of when we moved in together. And so then we ultimately ended up breaking up, and we lived together for 6 months, I want to say. And we ended up breaking up and moving out and going our separate ways, what have you. That's a whole other story for another time. But essentially we then were not together for a year. a good year, I want to say. Until then we kind of like decided to like, you know, come back into each other's lives. And I want to be clear that like we have always been in love with each other. We've always said it since day one that we were that we always like felt like we had the love of each other's lives, that we want to spend every moment of this life together, and we've had this kind of like bond and passion that I just value and cherish and appreciate, and it's just something I've never experienced before, and I just, yeah, it's this amazing this amazing love for each other. And so even though we did break up and we did move out and all that sort of stuff, we still always loved each other, obviously, and we still wanted to be in each other's lives, and we still wanted to be friends. And so there's so much more to the story than just, it wasn't just like, oh, okay, break up, never talk again, blah, 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 sort of thing. The reason we broke up was not because was not solely because we lived together or something like that. There were lots of reasons. There was 5.5 years of history of reasons as to why, and it was just important for us, and it was the right time for us to take a break from each other and not be together. And in my mind, I always kind of thought like we always would end up together, and I think maybe, I don't know how that's not, but I think in his mind he probably said the same thing. But regardless, we did take that year apart, and then we just ended up kind of coming back together naturally, and then we got back together officially, and then we decided, and we like started living together just naturally as well. And when we started living together naturally, we just kind of like didn't really see any other way. Like we always loved living together, even when we were living in our Hell's Kitchen apartment. And even though we broke up, we loved living together. It was such a great experience. And when we came back together and we started living together naturally, it just felt like we didn't want it to end. We just wanted to continue living together. And so, fortunately, in our situation, Tom, he lives in a 3-bedroom apartment, and he had 2 roommates, but they both moved out. So so when I started living with him, one of them was still there, but then she moved out, and then we literally just had a 3-bedroom to ourselves. But obviously that's not sustainable. We can't afford to live in a 3-bedroom with just the 2 of us, because it's like $4,000 a month. And just generally, we want a different apartment. So we are going to move to a 1-bedroom apartment on March 1st. So that's the gist of it. So I won't get into the details of exactly why we broke up, because I mean, I don't really know if that's something I really want to share exactly, but like all the ins and outs of it. But what I will say is that there were many different factors, and we didn't break up because we didn't like living with each other, or we fell in love with each other, or anything like that. There were more practical reasons, I would say, because people are saying like, oh, like if you already broke up once and you live together, wouldn't you break up again because you live together? And I think really the main point of what I want to say here is that, first of all of this is out of love. We are together because we love each other, and we want to be together, and we love spending time with each other, and we're just like the love of each other's lives. Like, I mean, you know what, I'll stop speaking for him. I feel like he's the love of my life, and I want to spend every waking moment that I possibly can with him, within reason. And I just love living with him. I love getting to come home to him, and I love sharing all my experiences with him. We make each other laugh. We're literally just always laughing and having fun and having such a great time. And it's an amazing experience. And life is so short, and I know that's cliche, but it really is. You get this one life, and if you find somebody that you love and you want to share it with them, why not, you know? So I think it's like really quick. It's really easy for people to judge and say, oh my God, you're making bad decisions. But I think for me, and this is the right decision, and we've talked about this for months. We've been literally spending every single day with each other for the last however many months, and we really hashed through this, and we realized like we just love each other and we just want to be together, and there's nothing wrong with that. And just because society wants to look down upon us and say, oh my gosh, you broke up and now you're getting back together, you're gonna live together, is that a good idea, all this different stuff, like who cares? Like literally who cares? That we kind of, even like when we kind of had all these conversations and went deep into it, we realized that really the only thing that would be holding us back from doing that would literally be what other people would think. Because at the end of the day, the worst possible thing that could really happen is that we, God forbid, break up again, and then we get our own apartments again. Like, that's literally what happened before, and that could just happen again. And obviously that's not the situation we're hoping for, and that's not the situation I believe will happen. But people are like, what will you do if you guys break up? Go on with my life and live and figure out another place to live and move on. And same for him. Like, it's not, like, it's love and you take risks. It's not even really that risky, but like you do things for love and you want to be with somebody, and there's nothing wrong with that, I think. And not just like, and it wasn't just like society's influence that kind of held us back, but also, you know, what our family and friends and loved ones would think, essentially. Like, we know there's like there would be a lot of worry from them, and like a lot of concern, because we did break up before and we did live together before, and you know, it just, I can see how that can be a cause of concern for people that love you. But for us, we realized, and we kind of like, I keep speaking for him, but for me, I just keep remembering, and you know, you guys know that I have really bad anxiety, so of course all these thoughts are like going through my head and stuff, and then I just keep remembering, at the end of the day, we love each other, we want to be together, we want to live together, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out, and that's all that happens, and that's it. And then you move on with your life, and you know, life goes on, and it'll be totally okay, and nothing, the world is not going to stop. The world is not going to end if it doesn't work out, you know. And I think this also kind of aligns with my whole idea that I kind of speak about on my channel about killing the ego and getting rid of that self that like is affected and fueled by what other people think, and like, you know, what society's taught you, and all that sort of stuff. Like, you know, really like kill the ego, get rid of it. Be your authentic self, live your life, your most meaningful, most authentic life that you love and that you want to live. And if this is what it means to me, if this is what it means to us, then that's what it means, and there's nothing wrong with that. Leading with love, being in love with each other, and making decisions because we love each other. And this is what it means to me to live my most authentic life, to live my most meaningful life, is to live my life with love. And if I have somebody that I found that I feel like is the love of my life, and I want to spend every moment that I can with them, and I want to create a life with them and share a home with them, then I should do that. And I shouldn't worry about what possibly could happen or what couldn't happen. I obviously think, you know, I would say like be practical. I don't think, you know, you should always just kind of be willy-nilly. Basically, you know, use your best judgment within, like, do things within reason. But for the most part, I don't think there's really anything that insanely impractical about moving into somebody that you love, that you've known for years and years, that you trust, that you shared actually the same experience before with, and you know that the experience can be a good experience. And so for me, it was a really easy decision to make. And if others don't understand it, that's really unfortunate for them. But I'm really happy, and I think he's really happy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just really happy. I'm so glad that we're moving together in the apartment. You can't wait to show you guys the apartment. I'm really, I don't know. I just feel like, I guess I'll just end this with saying, like, you know, sometimes love means always finding your way back to each other. I feel like in our case, that's the situation. Like, our love never died just because, you know, we needed time apart, or where we were in our lives weren't matching up, or whatever the situation was. I think at the end of the day, we found our way back to each other, and we're living this amazing, beautiful life, and we're excited to continue sharing all of our life with each other. And it's beautiful and it's amazing, and I'm so blessed and so fortunate, and I'm so happy. So I don't know, yeah, I guess like that's the gist of it. I don't really think there's much more to say. It's really not a drama kind of like, I don't know, situation that people are like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Be careful. Like, I appreciate people who genuinely are concerned, but like people that are just judgmental about it for no reason, like, okay, like I'll be okay. Like, God forbid anything happens. I'm like, everything I've gotten through in my life, I've gotten through, and I will be okay. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope if anyone else is in a similar situation and is kind of like nervous or anxious, this helps somebody maybe. And yeah, just, you know, spread love, guys. Please just like get rid of that negative energy, that judgmental energy. Who cares? Live a life that means something to you. Live your most authentic, beautiful life, and be as happy as you possibly can, because you only got one life. As cliche as that is, you really only have got one life. So live it the best you can.